Hi, my name is Bertrand Gutzmann, and in this screencast, I would like to talk about how to write microservices with Grails 3. So, let's begin. Here we are. I'm using Grails version 3, Groovy 243, and of course a JVM 1.8. So, I'm going to create a new Grails application using the new concept of profile available in Grails 3. So, Grails create app. Here I'm typing the name of the new application using profile equals web micro. Oops. Okay, the web application is created in Grails MS folder. I'm switching to this folder. Okay, and let's continue and have a look at what file we have. Okay. Here we have just two files, application.groovy. So it's a simple Groovy script. And we also have a configuration file that is a YAML file, application.yaml. In that configuration file, you will find different settings about the profile of the application, its version, what data sources are available in it, what are environment supported, development, test, production, and so on. Okay, so if you look at the application.groovy file, you will see grab annotations that grab all the dependencies needed to run the application. And as you can see, our application is really simple, and Grails generated this file with just one class, here for example, that has annotation like entity and resource. So what we have here is a complete CRUD REST service. So we also be able to handle entities and to use a REST client in order to create, read, or delete entities that will be persisted in a memory database that is H2. Okay, let's continue. Now I'm going to enter the interactive mode of Grails. Okay, then I'll just type run app to execute the application. You will see that the Grails 3 is based on Spring Boot. Okay, and then our application will be available on localhost and on the port 8080. Okay, now let's continue with a few operations in order to show you that our microservice is working. So I'm going to use Groovy and a Groovy script. You can also do things like that with a command tool like curl, but here I'm using a Groovy script and a project named groovy-wslite in this location. It will be more clear at least for me. So the first thing I can do is to list the available example entities as you have seen it, sorry. We are going to list example objects available in our database. So here we will just emit a get HTTP command using the URI we defined in order to list our entities. But here, of course, we should get an empty list. So here I'm using Sublime Text, and when I build, and I have a command that do a build and run the script when I type when I press Ctrl B. So this is exactly what I'm doing now. Okay, as you can see, we will just have our service just returned an XML document with an XML root element list that is empty. Quite normal. Okay, let's continue and create an example entity. So here I'm just uncommenting some code. Okay. Here what we are doing is to emit a post HTTP command using the same URI, and we defined the value of the name attributes that is the only attribute of example entity. So just to show you, our entity class example has just one attribute that is name. Okay. Here with the help of groovy-wslite, we define just one entity, and we give the value x1 for the name attribute. And then just a typo here, sorry. And then we just verify that the status code we will get back in response of our creation is 2001. Okay, so the resource will be well created in that case. So let's continue. I'm pressing Ctrl B in order to run this Groovy script with Sublime Text. Okay, no error. So it means that we have created our resource, and just to verify it, I'm going to emit and ask the list of entities. Just 1 moment. Okay. Control V. Okay, as you can see in the response below, we found again list our root element, XML element, and inside we just find that we have one example entity with a sub XML element that is exactly the name of our attribute, name here, with the value we passed. Okay, and we also find an ID here, that is ID equals 1. It is the ID that is set by Hibernate and World under the hoods for our entity that is now in our H2 memory database. Okay, it's very interesting. So let's continue with another read operation, and now we just want to get one entity in order to show you what command you have to use and what URIs you must pass. So here we use again our client variable, and we emit a HTTP GET command, and we defined a path here that is a very specific URI in which we set the ID of the entity we want, and then after that we just verify that the operation is okay. Well, okay, let's run it again. I'm pressing B. Okay, let's look at the second line here. As you guess, we just have as XML root element example, that is the name of our entity, and here we just have one entity described, and then we found again example 1 for the name attribute. Of course, we can also list our entities with just a browser. Okay. Last. Examples. Okay. Here we have just the XML document we just saw. Okay. Here, in order to have a list of our entities, I can also put one just at the end of the URL in order to just have the description of example with ID 1. But Grails is really powerful because instead of have a response in XML, you can choose to ask a response in JSON format. So I just change what we use in accept argument, and then I press again B to show you the response. Okay, as you can see, for the first line, it's for the list of our entities, and for the second line, we have a response in JSON format. Okay, I would like to show you a last thing. When we start a microservice in this way, you are able to use this URL. Okay, here I'm just starting a user interface for our database in order to see what we have in our H2 database. I press connect here. So here on the left you can see what Grails has generated as a schema for the database. Of course, in this simple case, we just have our example table that corresponds to our example groovy class. Okay, you will find, of course, our name attribute, a name column that maps to our name attribute in the example class, and you also see ID column and version column. Okay. Oops. I'm going to show you what we have actually in the table here. We just have one entity. Okay, that's all. So in conclusion, I would say that Grails 3 is really powerful, and you can use microservice with Grails free profile web micro in order to quickly create microservice and to prototype really easily new services. So thank you a lot. Thank you for your attention.